this is Lisa Montgomery, editor of Electronic House Magazine, and I'm here with Jim Miller from Desert Sound and Security from Phoenix. And we've selected one of his projects as an award winner for our annual 2011 Home of the Year contest. This particular home, what attracted us most, Jim, was the fact that it had this awesome home office. And there's a system in there called a telepresence system. Can you explain what telepresence is and how this homeowner uses it?
Telepresence basically gives him the ability to communicate to other sites as if he was physically in the room. And so one of the big things with this client is that he basically built his company in the last few years from 250 people to 600 people. And one of the big things is he wanted to go to the next level, and the way he realized he needed to do that was separate himself from the everyday business, but also if he needed to be there, he had a presence there immediately. So
how does that all happen? What sort of technologies did you incorporate into this home office to make it seem as if he was right there with the rest of his employees while in fact he's at home?
Yeah, well, one of the things is with the Cisco Telepresence, it was a 500 series system. And so that system typically sits on a pedestal. It's all combined into one unit. Well, we had to dismantle that, integrate it into the house, get Cisco to build us a 65-inch plasma because that's what he had to have in that office for watching television. And so their process is actually really simple because all they really have to do is you set up programmable buttons on the actual Cisco phone there. He pushes that and everything activates and starts calling his office, or it can call an individual at one of their desks.
So tell me what happens when he pushes this button. Does an image of him pop up on the employees' computer screens, or do they have a central office where they all congregate and watch him?
Couple different ways to do it. One way is that he has a boardroom at his corporate office. So the first time we set it up, it was kind of funny because we dialed in there. Immediately the system turns on in the conference room. You could see his conference room. No one's in there. And he starts yelling, "Hey, hey." And then his assistant heard him, and she comes in there and says, "Hi, Jim." He goes, "Oh, gather everybody and bring them in here. I want to talk to them." So that started a 2-hour session of him talking about this idea and this concept of telepresence and how he can communicate with them, and on a moment's notice. So it was pretty cool how that works. He also can basically just call a person's desk that has it. And right now his executive team has that, so he can easily just push another extension and there they pop up.
Okay, so it sounds like this system maybe was intended for commercial use, but you incorporated it into a home office. How did you accomplish that? Did you have to cleverly install it in places so it looked more like it belonged in a home than in an office?
Yeah, we absolutely, like I mentioned, the system comes on a pedestal with this big, shroud that comes around the side of it with lights behind it, and there's no way that's going to go in someone's house. And so we dismantled the whole thing, integrated it above the fireplace so it looked like it belonged in the room. We actually had to have the lights created around it, and so basically the light would fill the room, so you could basically see him because there's certain light criteria and sound criteria. Mm-hmm. The other thing we had to look at was how to integrate the surround sound system in that room along with the Cisco Telepresence system. So we had a custom sound bar made that basically had 2 sets of speakers in there, and then also the camera had to be integrated into that too. Then we had to remove the Kodak, put it in the rack, look at wire distances, and also we had a challenge of getting the mics on the desk. This desk was an antique from Italy that you could only change like 10% of the desk, and so we had to basically submit a request to drill a hole in the desk where the mic cables would come up, and get approval for it. So it was a big challenge, but in the end we were able to accomplish it, and it worked out great.
Now, I know this house has an AMX control system. Is that integrated with the telepresence system?
It's not integrated with the telepresence system, but it definitely starts off his day.
How so?
He basically, we set up in his bedroom, we have a programmable alarm clock set up. So what he can do is he can go in there, he can set the time he wants to wake up, he can set what television show he wants to turn on, and based on that, if it's night or day, the drapes are open, lights will start to come on, and as he makes his way down to his master bath suite, TV pops up out of the out of the cabinet, and the station's sitting there watching, and he's ready to start his day.
Ready to go to his office, right?
Ready to go to his office. Another kind of request is he had to have a commute. So he basically told me, I need to have my morning commute so I feel like I'm at work. I'm like, okay. He goes, so I want to walk down these stairs and walk across the backyard and go up another set to my office. And I'm like, okay, no problem. We can do that. So what we did is, as he walks towards this back door, the door will automatically unlock. He walks down the stairway. As he walks over, he comes up to a touch panel on the outside of his patio, enters a code, that door unlocks, and then the office comes alive.
Sounds really cool.
It was fun.
Well, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.